Many times clients come to us with a fraud case or a loss or a judgment against a party that may have money overseas or assets overseas. They may reside overseas. And sometimes people are afraid of, well, they're offshore funds, I can't touch them. Be aware that in many cases, getting assets and getting results from overseas sometimes is easier than in the U.S. The U.S. has very strict privacy laws and consumer protection laws about assets and records that may not exist in other countries. There are some processes that can be used, and get with your attorney on this and get good legal advice, where you can domesticate a judgment in another country. There's a process where a court can connect with a court in another country called letters rogatory, where a judge basically says to a court in another country, look, we have this claim, please give us your resources in another country. Another way to get assets is to do a civil search and seizure. In this country, the only way you can do a search warrant or a seizure of assets is using law enforcement or using government resources. In some other countries, you can actually do a civil seizure with private parties. You can have an attorney do a civil seizure, or you can have a private investigator do a civil seizure. Sometimes it's called a Norwich Farmer Call Order or Morova Act. So you can use these resources in other countries that may not be available here. So before you give up on offshore money, get with good legal advice that knows about how to do these things in other countries that can help you recover records, money, information from a source in another country. Just because it's overseas doesn't mean it's outside of your reach.